Welcome to the success stories of millionaires. Can you become a millionaire by following our protagonist's formula? Let's find out. What do you do when you're a Princeton graduate with a lucrative Wall Street career, but you're haunted by a statistic about the internet's explosive growth? If you're Jeff Bezos, you don't just have a passing thought. You perform a rigorous analysis, develop a personal framework to conquer fear, walk away from that secure future, drive across the country with your wife, and start a company in your garage that you know has a 70% chance of failing. He became the architect of modern e-commerce, a visionary who transformed how the entire world shops, reads, and even how businesses access computing power. He didn't just build a bookstore, he built a global infrastructure for the digital age, becoming one of the wealthiest people on the planet by focusing on the long term when everyone else was obsessed with the next quarter. This is the story of Jeffrey Preston Bezos. But this isn't just a history of Amazon. We're going to decode the exact decision-making frameworks, the painful failures, and the relentless long-term strategies that allowed him to build one of the most valuable and influential companies in human history. Stick with me until the end, and I will give you the 5 key strategies Jeff Bezos used to build his empire. Strategies you can use to make bolder, more visionary decisions in your own career and business. Let's dive into the story of the man who mastered the long game. If you're fascinated by the principles of innovative business decision-making, you're in the right place. We break down the strategic blueprints of the world's most successful millionaires. If that sounds valuable to you, please hit that like button. It truly helps support the channel. And second, click subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next story. Now let's get into how a hedge fund analyst bet his entire career on the World Wide Web. Our story begins not on the internet, but on a ranch in Cotulla, Texas, where a young Jeff Bezos spent summers working with his grandfather, a retired rocket scientist and rancher. He learned grit, self-reliance, and how to fix things with his own hands, a stark contrast to his future digital empire. He was a precocious and fiercely determined child. At one point, he tried to dismantle his crib with a screwdriver because he wanted a real bed. This innate drive to build and improve would define his life. Bezos attended Princeton University, initially dreaming of being a theoretical physicist before switching to computer science and electrical engineering. After graduating, he entered the high-finance world of New York City, quickly rising through the ranks at the hedge fund D.E. Shaw. He was one of their youngest senior vice presidents, using his technical skills to find new market opportunities. He had a high-paying, prestigious job that most would consider the pinnacle of success. But in 1994, while researching the internet for D.E. Shaw, he stumbled upon a startling statistic. Web usage was growing at 2,300% per year. This number captivated him. It wasn't just a trend, it was a tidal wave of unprecedented opportunity, and he knew he had to catch it. He made a list of 20 potential products to sell online, from computer software to clothing. He eventually narrowed it down to books. Why? They were a standardized product with a massive, fragmented selection, over 3 million in print, and no physical bookstore could ever hold them all. The idea was simple, yet audacious. Create the world's biggest bookstore, a virtual place with infinite shelf space. To make the leap, he developed what he called the regret minimization framework. He imagined himself at 80 years old, looking back on his life. He knew he wouldn't regret trying and failing to participate in this internet boom, but he would profoundly, irrevocably regret not trying at all. This long-term perspective gave him the courage to act. He quit his job, a decision his own boss tried to talk him out of. When he told his parents, his father's first question was, "What's the internet?" He and his wife, Mackenzie, packed their belongings into a Chevy Blazer, and drove from New York to Seattle. Why Seattle? It was a hub for technical talent, thanks to Microsoft, and it was close to a major book distributor, Ingram Book Group. They rented a house with a garage and set up shop. Bezos built the first website himself on powerful Sun servers, and they packed books on their hands and knees on a concrete floor, using doors from Home Depot as makeshift desks. The bell that would ring for every sale was so exciting in those early days that they feared it might be a fluke. It wasn't. Within the first month, without any advertising, Amazon.com sold books in all 50 states and 45 different countries. The latent demand for online commerce was clearly there. But this was just the beginning. Bezos was not content with just selling books. From the very start, his vision was infinitely larger. He originally named the company Cadabra, but his lawyer misheard it as cadaver. He then changed it to Relentless.com, which still redirects to Amazon today, before settling on Amazon after the largest river in the world to signify the scale of his ambition. The first logo even featured a river flowing under the letter A. The first major turning point, and a testament to his radical obsession with the customer, came with the creation of Amazon's review system. Traditional retailers and publishers were horrified. You're going to let people write negative reviews on your own product pages? You're going to lose sales. But Bezos was adamant. He believed that helping customers make informed purchase decisions built trust, and that trust was far more valuable in the long run than a few short-term sales. He was willing to sacrifice immediate revenue for lifelong customer loyalty. This was a radical, counterintuitive idea at the time, and it laid the foundation for the customer-centric culture that would define Amazon for decades. The grind to survive and scale was brutal. For the first 6 years, Amazon was not profitable. Wall Street was deeply skeptical, and critics dubbed it Amazon.bomb. The company was burning through hundreds of millions of dollars in cash to build a network of massive, automated fulfillment centers, improve its website's performance, and expand its product selection far beyond books into music, videos, and toys. The infamous dot-com crash of 2000 wiped out countless internet companies, and Amazon's stock plunged by over 90%. The pressure was immense, but Bezos never wavered from his core belief. He was focused on what he called long-term market leadership, not quarterly profits. He was building a fortress, brick by brick, while others were painting pretty facades. He famously told shareholders in his first letter in 1997 that it's all about the long term. He outlined his philosophy clearly: to focus on market leadership over profitability, to make bold investment decisions, and to obsess over customers. This letter became a manifesto for a new kind of company, one built for decades, not just for the next earnings report. His breakthrough in scaling came from a series of relentless and often controversial innovations. He launched one-click ordering, patenting a system that drastically reduced friction and made impulse buying easier than ever before. Then came Amazon Marketplace, allowing third-party sellers to compete directly on Amazon's product pages. His own executives fought him on this, arguing it was cannibalizing their own sales. Bezos saw it differently. He believed that giving the customer more choice and lower prices would make Amazon the ultimate destination for all shopping. It was a genius move that exponentially expanded their inventory without them having to hold the capital risk. Today, over half of all units sold on Amazon come from third-party sellers. Perhaps his most brilliant and transformative bet was Amazon Web Services, AWS. In the early 2000s, Amazon's own engineering team had become incredibly proficient at building and managing massive, reliable, and scalable server infrastructure to handle their holiday shopping rushes. Bezos and his team realized that this internal capability, this operating system for the internet, was itself a product. In 2006, they launched AWS, offering cloud computing services like data storage and processing power to other companies. Internally, this was a huge debate. It was a complex, low-margin business far removed from their core retail operation. But Bezos saw the future. AWS now provides the backbone for a huge portion of the internet, from Netflix to Airbnb, and is the primary profit engine for the entire Amazon empire, generating tens of billions in profit annually. His decision-making process was methodical and institutionalized. He mandated the writing of 6-page, narratively structured memos for meetings instead of PowerPoint presentations. This forced executives to think deeply, connect ideas, and present a coherent argument, eliminating the gloss and ambiguity of bullet points. He popularized the concept of two-pizza teams, keeping internal teams small enough that they could be fed with 2 pizzas. This was designed to avoid bureaucracy, maintain agility, and foster a sense of individual ownership and accountability. Perhaps his most famous mantra is Day One. He ends every annual shareholder letter with it. To him, Day One is a mindset of energy, innovation, and customer obsession. Day Two, he says, is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by excruciating, painful decline, followed by death. And that is why it is always Day One at Amazon. This mindset is the cultural engine that has driven their relentless entry into new industries, from groceries, Whole Foods, to Hollywood, Amazon Studios, to space exploration with his private company, Blue Origin, which he founded with the goal of building a road to space for future generations. Today, the man who packed books in a garage oversees a company worth over $1.7 trillion. He didn't just build a store. He built a utility for the modern world, a logistics and computing behemoth that has fundamentally reshaped global commerce. His true net worth isn't just in his stock holdings, it's in the fundamental way he reshaped our expectations, how we think about time itself with next-day delivery, how we access entertainment, and how startups can scale globally in minutes using AWS. So, what can we learn from the 30-year journey from a garage to a global empire? Here are the 5 key strategies you can emulate from Jeff Bezos' success. 1. Apply the regret minimization framework. When faced with a difficult, life-altering decision, project yourself forward to age 80. Looking back on your life, which choice will you be most proud of? This simple but powerful long-term perspective cuts through short-term fear and paralysis and forces you to align your actions with your deepest values and ambitions, not just immediate comfort. 2. Be obsessively, radically customer-centric. While competitors were focused on their rivals, Bezos was solely focused on the customer. He famously leaves an empty chair in high-level meetings to represent the customer, the most important person in the room. The lesson is simple but profound. If you take care of your customers, build trust with them, and relentlessly improve their experience, they will take care of your profits. Don't fear competitors. Fear your customers' dissatisfaction. Number 3, it's always Day One. Complacency is the death of innovation. No matter how successful you become, you must maintain the energy, agility, and hunger of a startup. Resist proxies, using process as a crutch instead of focusing on outcomes. Embrace external trends, and make high-velocity decisions, being willing to be wrong 70% of the time. A wrong decision is often better than no decision at all. 4. Think in decades, not quarters. Bezos was willing to forego quarterly profits for years to build an unassailable market position. This long-term thinking allowed him to make bold, multi-billion-dollar bets that others couldn't, like AWS and the Kindle. Ask yourself, what won't change for your customers in the next 10 years? Build a moat around that. For Amazon, it was low prices, vast selection, and fast delivery. 5. Build a culture of high-quality decisions and ownership. From the 6-page memos to the leadership principle of disagree and commit, Bezos created a system designed to produce better judgments and empower his people. Surround yourself with people who have high standards and create processes, like the 2-pizza team rule, that force rigorous thinking, speed, and a sense of personal ownership over results. These strategies Jeff utilized are a blueprint for building something that not only succeeds, but endures and transforms the world around it. To execute these strategies, you need the right systems. Whether you sell digital or physical products, most entrepreneurs waste time juggling separate tools for their website, marketing, and sales. The solution is Go High Level, an all-in-one marketing and CRM system that lets you run your entire business, funnels, email, SMS campaigns, AI agents, and social media scheduling. You can even manage your client communication from a single portal on your phone. If you're ready to systemize your growth and build a business that scales, check out Go High Level. You can find my link for a trial in the description below. The story of Jeff Bezos proves that the most powerful asset you have is a long-term perspective. That by being stubborn on your vision, but flexible on the details, and by putting the customer at the center of every single decision, you can build not just a company, but a legacy that defines an era. Jeff Bezos will forever change the way we buy online. If you enjoyed this deep dive and learned something valuable, please watch our next video on the success stories of millionaires.